can't wait.
I'll send them to you. Good? Yeah, I think so. Do you know how to do that?
Are they already on?
So the two far knobs down the bottom, white. Testing.
Yep, testing.
Go a little bit.
Testing.
Keep going.
Testing.
Keep going.
Testing.
Yep. Can you hear me? Yep, cool. All right, good evening and welcome to Game 1 of the Division 1 Men Big V final between the Bellarine Storm and the Shep Gators. My name is Hugh Moore. I'm sitting beside my co-commentator for the night, Tim Sanderson. Tim, how are you?
Good, mate. Looking forward to a big Game 1.
Yeah, obviously an all-country battle here. I believe it was 3 and 4 on the ladder, so a bit of a shock to the league. Obviously, the Division 1 men Bellarine team knocking off Melbourne Uni last week in a fantastic 3-game series. I know myself, I attended the third game and it was a cracker, that's for sure. But up against the other country team, the Shepparton Gators, who just pretty much rolled Keysborough in 2 games.
Yeah, they did. Shepparton had an outstanding series against Keysy. Obviously cleaned up the first game by 20 odd at home, and then game 2 seemed a lot tighter. But I mean, they were led by Jefferson and Wilkie in the second game, and Dobb was pretty impactful off the bench. So they were 2 really solid wins for Keysy, and obviously the Storm group against Melbourne Uni was knocking off the ladder leader in 3 after blowing a lead on the Saturday night game 2 and then chasing one down on Sunday. So we should have a pretty good contest here tonight.
And it's filling up in here, Tim. It's I haven't seen it this busy all year, so it should be exciting. Should be very loud in here. Obviously, Bellarine, Louis Varley, what a season he's having. Averaging 14 points a game, but most games I reckon he scores more than that easily.
Yeah, well, Grant, the semis last week, he had a couple of games of 30, so Saturday night he got 15 the first quarter, 33 for the night. Was probably unlucky not to get him over the line, but backed up nicely on the Sunday. Another one I think tonight will be a big impact is probably Rowan Jarby's inside defence, but I think for me, like, you kind of tapped on it when you're talking about Louis shooting. Like, both of these teams in the semi-final series, it was the three-point shooting that really impacted it. So, I mean, the Storm team had 14 threes in game 1, 11 in game 2, 14 in game 3, all at a pretty good clip. And Shepparton was 13 and 11 in their 2-game series as well, above 40% in both games. So I think that's going to be a key for tonight.
And the probably key point that I don't think we've brought up yet is the inclusion this year of Lee Saffin. For those of you who weren't at Ballarine's game last week, Lee Saffin turned it on in the 4th quarter. And ultimately, I'd say, won the game for them. So he'll be one to watch. But as we get close to game time, starting lineups for both teams. For the Bellarine Storm, number 4, Nathan Grombeck. Number 7, Louis Varley. Number 20, Rowan Jarvie. Number 23, Marko Vekic. And number 31, Max Koz. Hit me with the Gators.
And Shep's going to go number 1, Sam Becks. Number 3, Jordan Michelle. Number 6, Garrett Jefferson. 33, Dylan Wilkie. And 34, Matt Andronigas.
So if you're Josh Waite, the Shep coach, how do you stop this in-form Bellarine Storm team?
Well, I think, as we said earlier, the key to it is getting a hand on the 3 and taking them off the perimeter. That's been a big key for the Storm team throughout the season, again in that semi-final series. So I think that'll be a key part for Shep. They're a very high-volume shooting team, so a lot of looks are going to come from out there. And if they get on top in that area, they're very hard to slow down because points can go up pretty quick. So that's probably the area I'd be focusing on.
And who do you send to the import for Shepparton, Garrett Jefferson?
I think it wouldn't surprise me if Nathan Grombeck got a go at him. He seems to be one that the Storm team uses as a defensive stopper, so I'd say that's probably their starting matchup.
But as we look to get started here at Storm HQ, all-country matchup, Storm v Gators, and we're off. Storm come away with the jump ball. Koss straight away, pressure here from the Gators, finds Vekic. Koss with the fader, and they're off to a great start, the Storm. Max Koss opens the scoring count for the
Classic
Storm.
Maxi to start off in that little fader inside.
Straight into Andronicus, who just goes to work. Such an experienced player, Andronicus.
Look, Matt Andronicus can have a pretty good size match up in there too. Like Rowan Jarvie's a great inside centre, but he's got a little bit of size and shoulder width on him, so I'd say that might be an area they'll target.
And I think he's got him covered on experience too.
Absolutely.
Grombeck kicks it back to Jarvie, to Koss, who finds Varley with the mismatch. Falls short. Michelle comes up with the rebound. Michelle fading, misses the ring, and the Storm are out and running.
Probably one at each end there you'd be pretty happy with as a defensive coach.
Varley had the right idea, but ultimately throws the ball out of court, and it's still filling up in here, Tim. There is people still filing in.
Yeah, she's a pretty good crowd behind us. So
we also have a Youth 2 Grand Final this afternoon as the ball goes into Andronicus again. But Jarvie does a great job on defense.
Nice inside feed, got lucky there, Storm team.
Koz off his foot, finds Bex, who gets swatted off the backboard. But it's going to be a goaltending. So that one would have been close.
I think it's the right call.
Got up though.
He did get up, he was a little bit late getting there.
Koz averages 14 points a game. Grombeck finds Jarvie inside.
Nice job, Nathan, getting in the lane there.
Michelle, obviously a pretty well-known state guard for Vic Country, and he's really cemented his spot in this team this season, as we see Jefferson come off the back iron, and the Storm are out and running again. Grombeck gets picked by, yet again, Geordie Michelle.
I think the Storm boys look like they're trying to get out and transition a little bit. He's just going to be conscious of throwing the ball away easily.
Maxi Koz in transition, lights it up, and the crowd loves it.
Big hit.
Maxi Koz, obviously his first season here at the Storm, coming from Geelong, as the ball goes into Andronicus again. Great D there by Jarvie. Andronicus comes up with the rebound. It'll be a foul on the baseline.
It's going to go on Jarvie, I think.
Correct. So that'll be Rowan Jarvie's first foul for the night. First foul for the game as well. Andronicus, obviously a pretty key staple, I believe, in a lot of Bendigo's success in their men's team. Jefferson finds Andronicus, who finds Wilkie, can't make it, and it's a fight for the ball, but Vekic comes up with it, and they're off again. Grombeck tries to get too fancy with it, and Jefferson will just finish the easy layup.
Well, it's got to be really careful. It's 3 or 4 turnovers now and some sloppy passing. They'll be creating transition.
Vekic finds Varley, first shot of the night. It's off, but Jarvie comes up with a big rebound, and the Storm will get a second chance as Andronicus just sends that back.
Great D. Good long hands inside. He's going to keep challenging shots like that all night and disrupting the guards in there, I think. So going to have to come up with a way of moving him out of the lane.
Jefferson for 3. Rolls out. Two different game styles here at the moment. The Storm are running a very transition offense, where the Gators are setting up, looking to get good shots, as Grombeck finds Koz again. Koz hits the deck, but gets back in trans. Wilkie pushing the floor. Andronicus to Bex to Michelle. Stops, pops, can't finish.
Marco Vekic with a hand in there again with the steal. keep an eye on him doing that tonight. He had quite a few of those in the Melbourne Uni Series as well, disrupting shots and deflecting balls around the basket. So,
and he's not the biggest player on the court, but
he plays above his size though.
Correct. A very versatile player.
Nice cross.
Varley splits the gap. Comes hard off the backboard, but Storm come up with the offensive rebound. Varley finds Cos in the corner, wide open. Can't convert. Sam Becks gets 2 points on the board, and the Gators take the lead for the first time tonight. Vekic guarded by Becks. There's a bit of a tangle under the ring. Foul will be on number 33. Dylan Wilkie, that'll be his first for the evening.
So far reasonably clean on the foul counts, only one each with 5 minutes play, but probably hasn't been too much work yet for the rest to do.
No. So Storm ball. Into Jarvie, to Grombeck, who finds Vekic, who's wide open. And the banks down here in Ocean Grove are open on a Saturday as Vekic buries the 3 and the Storm retake the lead.
Well, that's a way of getting Andronicus out of the lane, is keeping him honest out there and hitting a couple of shots too. So look for the Storm group to do that a little bit, particularly when Rowan Jarvie comes out and they go a little bit smaller.
As we will have a foul, and that looks to be on number 7, Louis Varley. That'll be his first for the evening, and we'll see our first substitution for the evening. Lee Saffin checking in, and Nathan Grombeck checking out. Obviously, go on.
I was going to say, Jefferson at the line for his first 2 free throws for the night.
Makes the first. Jefferson averaging 18 points a game across the season. Shepparton's top scorer. Misses the second, and it's a Bellarine Storm rebound. Vekic is one of those players who can play 1 through 5, like fairly decent ball handler, but straight into the post with the mismatch.
Creative playmaker too, so we're looking for some cutting to happen when they do hit him in the post as Shepparton get out in transition with a nice play there.
Dylan Wilkie opens his scoring account for the night. And it's both teams trading baskets at the moment. No one really looking to assert their dominance. Great ball movement there by the Storm. Finds Max Cos wide open. Rolls off the ring. And the Gators come up with the rebound, and it'll be a blocking foul on number 31, Max Cos. And it'll look like the Gators will make a substitution. Matt Andronicus checking out, and number 8, Nick Dodd, checking in for first time tonight.
Nick Dodd's done a really nice job in the last couple of weeks, particularly in the semi-final series. Had 14 off the bench in both games, so this will be probably a key area for the Storm team as well to make sure he doesn't have that bench impact that could move a game on pretty quickly. So be interesting to watch what happens here, and can they keep him below those numbers in the last couple of weeks.
Storm do have a height advantage right now on the court as Michelle steps back. Can't convert, and Saffin does a great job coming over the top. Varley putting the moves on. Hesitated at the ring, and Bex comes up with the rebound.
0 for 4 start here now for Varley.
Jefferson finishes fantastically under the ring. And so Varley not having a very good start right now. 0 from 4 and a few turnovers as Bex pops and stops. Can't convert. So the Gators up by 3 with just over 3 minutes to go as Bex putting the moves on, Varley putting the moves on Jefferson, might I add. And we'll have a foul on on number 6, Garrett Jefferson. And we'll see a substitution for the Gators. It'll be number 3, Geordie Michelle, checking out, and number 12, Thomas Frame, checking in for the first time tonight.
Been starting to touch on this already, but the turnover count's starting to get up there for the Storm now. We're up to, I think that was the 6th one just then. If they keep doing that, the transition that's going to create for Shepparton is going to be really, really hard to keep up with. So that's an area they're going to need to clean up in the next couple of minutes here, otherwise it's going to become a problem.
Vekic for his second 3 of the night. Can't convert. Might also add that the Storm aren't attacking the rim a lot at the moment. They're relying on their outside shot.
A lot of perimeter-based offense at the moment, isn't it? Yeah.
And we saw it last week against Melbourne Uni as Jefferson goes to work under the ring, and it'll be an M1 for Jefferson.
Took advantage of the mismatch there really well with the size advantage on Max Coles down low.
We saw it last week. That'll be 2 fouls on Max Cos as well. And we'll have a timeout for the Bellarine Storm. We saw it last week against Melbourne Uni for the Storm. They relied on their 3-ball a lot within the probably middle 2 quarters, second and third. And then they made a switch at 3-quarter time, and that's what ultimately won them the game. They put some heat on the rim. They got some heat on the rim, and they got some open shots off that heat on the rim.
Yeah, well, if you're looking at stats from tonight too, like it's a similar theme that it started a lot outside early. Like 7 of the 14 attempts have been 3 so far, only 2 made, so it's shooting about 28%, which is, again, a number that's going to have to lift. Whereas you go down the Shepparton end, and they've had 18 attempts, only 2 outside the arc, so they're definitely targeting inside and doing some damage around the basket. And I mean, we all know in grand finals sometimes you get a little edgy early, so that shooting touch is going to need to come back, or a slight adjustment in game style here to create a bit more heat at the rim, I think. So definitely advantage Shepparton in that area at the moment.
But I know this Storm, obviously Storm can really turn it up. I haven't seen this Shep team, but I know the Storm can really turn it up quickly. So
yeah, it's probably one of those things you describe the Storm shooting as, I'd say, as streaky. They're one of those teams that they can go cold and not have many for a while, but they could come out and hit 4 or 5 in a row really quickly in the scoreboard and get running. So
I've just looked down the other end and just noticed that the Geelong Supercats NBL 1 men team have just rocked up, and it looks like they're on their silly Sunday.
Some interesting costumes down there, isn't there?
I believe it's a suits. They're dressing up in all their different types of suits, so they'll be sure to make some noise as Jefferson converts his M1, and so the lead for the Gators out to 6 now. Biggest of the game. Thomason checked in for Cos. Safin, not much of an impact yet. Vekic with the travel.
Hey, you can see the intent there of trying to go inside and get something around the basket, but obviously just fumbled that and walked a little bit.
Yeah. I believe he did fumble the ball as he tried to bring it over. So the Gators will have a chance to really stretch this lead out now. Jefferson attacks Varley. Finds Bex to Dodds.
Great job icing the
frame. Oh, wow. Rowan Jarvie swats it and throws it down. And the crowd here in Ocean Grove have just awoken. Wilkie. Oh, wow. As oohs and ahs echo across the stadium.
We'll be Rowan Jarvie's second as well.
So, a couple of big defensive plays here for the Storm. As we'll see.
Looks like Andronicus is going to be subbing Bex out of these free throws. Jamison Holgren also getting ready to come in.
Hasn't played many minutes this season, Jamison Holgren, but tall figure, tall frame.
And excellent competitor around the rim too, so he'll be tough in there.
As Bex makes a second, and I believe, I didn't see who checked in.
Andronicus just came in for Shep then.
No, he didn't. He's still on the bench.
Still on the bench? No, he'll change his sub.
Varley looking to get his night started. Finds Vekic. He finds Thomason. to Saffin. Back to Thomason, who dumps it under, and it'll be out of court for the Bellarine Storm.
Yeah, it's the 8th turnover of the quarter for Storm.
So they'll need to really pull that in the next 3 quarters, but with minute 15 to go here in the first quarter, it is the Gators up 17-12. Jefferson just slowing the pace here for the Gators. Finds Dodds, who's
nice
wide open.
Really nice pass.
Under the ring. And so the lead goes out to 7. Varley, heat on the rim, tosses it high. And he will head to the line for 2. The foul will be on number 12, Thomas Frame. That'll be his first for the evening.
Probably a key trip here for Varley getting on the line. He's not off the mark scoring-wise yet, so hopefully this will get him going.
Makes the first.
Yep. Does have 5 rebounds, though.
And makes the second. And Varley opens his scoring account for the evening. Margin back down to 5. Jefferson controlling the pace. Covered by Varley. Becks to Dodds, who stops, finds Frame. Goes baseline, finds Dodds under the ring. Holgren gets up, and the Storm get a stop.
Shepparton doing a really nice job on the perimeter there, attacking off using on-ball screens, and just that weak side penetration at the moment. So it's something Storm are going to have to look at, because they've been getting in the lane pretty regularly and getting guys open around the basket.
Late in the shot clock here for the Storm. Saffin finds Varley on the 3-point line. Varley now 0 from 5 in this Game 1 Grand Final. And the Gators will have the last shot. Jefferson on the ring, fading. Can't get it to fall. And the tip in will not fall either. So that'll be the end of the first quarter here at Storm HQ. The Shepparton Gators up 19-14. Tim, what are your key takeouts from the first quarter?
Well, I think Garrett Jefferson's had a really solid start with 8 points in that first quarter there. He seems to be creating a lot of the action for Shepparton, and got 3 assists to go with that 8 points as well. So he's one Storm's going to need to kind of get on top of. He's having a pretty good impact on the game so far. For the Storm group, I think they just need to get some of the shooters going here. So Max Cos had 5 early, and then between him, Varley and Saffin, they haven't really had much after that. So they need to get those guys going to be able to start impacting the board as they'd like to at the moment. But I'd say first quarter, Shepparton would be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, obviously you're looking at starting off with the Storm's shooting clip. They're going even from inside and outside. They're shooting 8. They've shot 8 shots from outside the perimeter and 8 from inside, let alone the Shep Gators. Of their 24 shots, only 3 of them have come from the outside. So,
yeah, he points in the paint is showing that too. So Shepparton's had 14 in the lane the first quarter compared to the Storm 4. So again, that's just showing you they're getting the ball right in around the basket where they want to be playing. Bellarine team's relying on that perimeter ball a little bit, which hasn't been going down so far. But 1 quarter down, still plenty of time to turn that around.
And we saw this last week. The Bellarine Storm were down at 16 points at 3-quarter time and ended up winning by a fairly decent margin. So, I mean, they can turn it on, but Louis Varley's really gonna need to start up. Obviously 0 from 5 so far this game, and not doing much so far. Only 2 points from the free throw line. So
yeah, they're going to take better care of the ball as well. The turnover count in that first quarter was far too high for a Division 1 final, and Shep scored a couple directly off those, and probably missed a couple other opportunities they could have had too. So to a degree, they could be another couple of points in front, I think.
But as we look to get started here in the second quarter, lineups, Saffin, Holgren, Thomason, Grombeck and Varley for the Storm, and Becks, Jefferson, can't see who else, Dodds.
Gabe Evans coming as well.
Gabe Evans and Frame to round out. So we can look to get started here in the second quarter. Dodds into, Dodd with the shot, Evans with the assist, and so the Gators straight out of the gates
Looks like that short corner's a target area for Dodd as well. That's the second look he's had from there so far, and both looked okay.
Saffin fading with a hand in his face.
Tough look.
Dodds comes up with the rebound. Evans comes up with the rebounds, pardon me. To Jefferson. Into Bex, who finds Frame. Back to Jefferson. Dodds to Jefferson. Staying out in the perimeter. Storm doing a great job to keep them outside the P. We'll have 2 seconds left on the shot clock here, so the Gators will need to get up a shot.
Good quick hands from Varley there to disrupt that one.
Inbound to Frame, who's wide open through the middle.
Great execution on the out-of-bounds play. Really
fantastic floater. Saffin finds Thomason into Varley, who's fading. Still yet to make a shot.
So just looking on the flow of the game here, Hugh, I think like Shepparton seems to be getting looks that they're kind of happy with, whereas it looked like we started 2 fadeaways here for the Storm group off tough shots early in the clock. I think they're going to need to try and find something a little better than that if they're going to be able to bring this gap back. Shepparton would be fairly happy with that, I would have thought.
I think the other thing is, as Sam Bex comes up with a massive O-board, another thing is the Gators moving the ball really well. Was Jefferson from the quarter court line. Buries a 3, but the Gators are moving the ball, let alone Bellarine going through 2 or 3 passes and then heats on the rim. So we will wait and see if they can maybe get that ball moving as Grombeck goes to the rim, finishes under pressure, and it'll be an and 1 to Nathan Grombeck. Foul will be on number 14, Gabe Evans. That'll be his first for the game. And Grombeck will step up to the line for 2, and we'll have a substitution as well.
Nice strong take there by Grombeck. They did need one at the rim after those last couple of attempts, so really good recognition on that.
Jarvie back in for Holmgren. Grombeck misses a free throw. Bex comes up with the rebound. Jefferson just controlling the court out there. Finds Bex, who finds Frame. Out to Dodds, to Evans. So the ball getting through all the hands here as a missed floater, but an O-board again for the Gators. Into the rim. No conversion there for Gabe Evans. So the Storm have got a couple of nice stops here.
Nice job there by Rowan Jarvie changing that shot.
Louis Varley dumps it off to Grombeck. Oh. And it's an offensive foul on what looks to be like Louis Varley. So Louis Varley pleading his case to both the referees under the ring.
Varley's second there too. A bit of debate going on around the charge circle now, whether he's inside that or not. The referees obviously thought outside, or at least a pushing action there.
Yeah. So look to get started here. Louis Varley obviously up to his second foul. 10-point deficit here for the Storm. Andronicus back on the court. Frame to Evans. Guarded by Grombeck, who finds Andronicus at the free throw line. Can't convert.
Nice play creation there from Tom Frame too. Very good setup.
Varley finds Saffin, who finds Vekic, who Jefferson nearly picks it. Grombeck for 3. Not his bread and butter, but the Storm will get a lucky chance here, and they'll get the ball again. As there's still a bit of chatter here from Louis Varley to the refs, but he will be subbed out, and Max Cos will check back into the game. Vekic finds Grombeck at the elbow. Vekic can't get the pass off, and it'll be a turnover for the Storm. Jefferson downhill finds Frame. Back to Jefferson. Only shot the 1-3 for tonight as Grombeck hits the deck.
A late call there. I think it's going to be a shooting foul.
I believe it will be. Yeah, it's a late call. So Grombeck that'll be his first.
Going to put Jefferson to line. Again, he's creating a lot of problems at the moment.
Correct, up to 11 points himself. 4 rebounds, 1 rebound, 4 steals. Wow, really butchered that. 1 rebound, 4 assists, 2 steals. So he's one they need to really take out of this game.
Certainly been the biggest impact on it so far, I think.
Missed the first.
But as you correctly said before, there's been some outstanding ball movement from Shepparton and really good screening action away from the ball as well. So moving a lot of help defenders and allowing to attack that matchup one-on-one.
As Jefferson goes at 0 from 2 from the free throw line and
heard it from the crowd while he was at it.
Yeah. And it'll be a substitution for the Shep Gators. Jefferson will have a break and Geordie Michelle will check back in as just some poor passing there by the Bellarine Storm. Really sloppy at the moment. And it shows on their turnover count.
And at double figures already.
Now up to 10. So ball goes to Vekic, who finds Safin yet to score tonight. The ball will roll out of the rim. Evans to the ring.
Great job again, Rowan Jarvie challenging that shot.
Safin downhill. Frame does a great job to stop him. Frame in there again. Does a great job on D. And it's a turnover.
A really good job, Frame, being physical there without fouling. So that defense is starting to be very disruptive for Shepparton now as they throw the ball inside. Andronicus puts another 2 on the board. And I think there's a timeout coming.
And it will be a timeout for the Bellarine Storm. So the Storm in a bit of a pickle at the moment. Obviously down now by 12 points. Just the Gators doing a really good job on defense just to disrupt everything. Getting in the right spots, taking charges, getting offensive boards, getting rebounds. So I think that's going to be a big talking point for the rest of the game.
Well, I think they've been super disruptive so far. Like, Bellarine's really struggled to find clean looks so far. They're 2 for 10 outside the arc and only had 3 attempts on the foul line to go with those turnovers as well. So that statistically would give you a bit of an indication that Shepparton is doing a good job containing the ball to the perimeter and making those shots quite difficult. Again, only 3 offensive rebounds as well, so they're cleaning the glass up quite nicely now. Like, very good start to this game for Shepparton, and again, Bellarine's going to need a bit of a change here to fight their way back into it. 12 down now.
If you coach Bugenhall for the Storm, what's the change you make? What's your game plan there? Just obviously you've got 5 minutes left in the quarter. What do you do just to get this game back close?
I think you've got to generate a bit sharper ball movement to create some driving lanes on the back end of ball reversal or a few screening actions to get the ball through hands faster. Right now I feel like Shepparton's able to get through those actions and keep a pretty good challenge on them. And then on the other end of the floor, it's about containing the ball to the perimeter and making sure, well, one, you've got to slow Jefferson down a little bit. So it might be making a slight change on how you're defending him there or potentially finding a way of getting up the floor a little bit to change the pace of the game.
So as we get started here, Safin downhill,
There's the play you're looking for, though. Really good adjustment getting downhill. Just needs to finish.
Varley with the pick. The pop and stop from Max Cos, and the Storm just can't get a shot to drop right now. Everything's just rolling out. So the Gators will have a chance now to extend their lead even more as Dodds gets the ball picked by Varley.
You can tell pretty clearly here, all this on-ball screening action, most of the Shepparton guards are looking paint first, and the 3 ball's only really coming late clock for them. But they're doing some significant damage getting inside and opening up teammates around the rim.
Geordie Michelle wide open in the corner. Can't convert.
And they've executed really well off those couple of baseline plays too.
Not a bad shot for Geordie Michelle. Very prolific 3-point shooter. Rowan Jarvie from the free throw line. Can't convert. So Michelle just controlling the pace. Andronicus under the ring. There'll be a foul on, I believe, number 23, Marko Vekic. It'll be his first for the evening. So,
just for everyone watching at home as well, like you look at those two possessions back to back, like the Bellarine side was very much creating with one guy and a lot of guys trying to spot up, whereas you compare that to Shepparton's offense with some good screening action off the ball. Just seems like right now they're a little bit more in sync as a group.
yep, agreed.
And a 5-second violation comes up there.
You don't see those often.
As soon as I give him a rap for good execution, we get a 5-second violation out of bounds.
Haven't seen one of those for a while, so Storm will have a chance now to just try and chip away at this 12-point lead that sits over the top of them. Koz finds a rolling Jarvie into
Nice
Vekic, and finally Storm have put some points on the board. And the key point there, they moved the ball, they set some screens, and they got a score. I think that needs to be a big talking point for Coach Bugenhall.
Yeah, well, Jarvie gets open there on the rotation, so it's just collapsing that defense in and forcing the help.
Evans wide open from the three-point line.
Good hit.
Buries it. Averaging 10 points a game.
His first point for the night.
Varley with the mismatch under the ring. Jarvie from the short corner. Comes off the front iron, and it'll be a foul.
Vekic again.
Vekic again, so that'll be his second for the night. So Storm with a few with a few players in foul trouble here, as we see a substitution for the Gators. Jefferson and Bex checking back in, and Evans and Frame checking out.
That is the fourth Storm player into 2 fouls so far, so it's 3:45 to go in the second quarter here. That foul trouble could become a bit of an issue as well. So I think right now Shepparton holding the aces. It's going to need some adjustments to peg this one back a little prior to halftime.
Koz with a bit of applied pressure there. Jefferson back on the court, trying to make an instant effect. Can't convert. And it's going to be...
Bit of debate on this one.
No, it's going to be a foul on number 6, Garrett Jefferson. That'll be his second for the night. So...
That's a nice job by Varley on that last possession as well, challenging Jefferson's shot.
I might admit he got a bit lucky there, I reckon, Louis.
It's probably a 50-50, that one.
Correct. Varley downhill finds Jarvie. Gets stuck to Koz, wide open.
Nice
Can't
look,
convert.
There's the ball movement they're needing.
Oh, Marko Vekic hit one earlier from there, and it's going to be a foul. And the crowd just make a little bit of noise here. Storm HQ, foul will be on number 3, Jordy Michelle. That'll be his first for the night. So, Storm need to put a couple of big possessions together here. 3 minutes to go. Out to Vekic, who finds Safin, who's doubled. And the foul, 2 in a row for Jordy Michelle. So he'll get 2 quick fouls. That'll be his second. Storm will get another 14 reset here. To Jarvie. Not a 3-point shooter. He shot 1 for the season. That was last week, and he made it. At the end of the game, in garbage time.
It was a bit of a rubber in one, wasn't it?
As
nice
he
move
steps
inside
through.
there, though. Well defended by Andronicus too.
And so, the Gators pushing the floor. Bex to Jefferson, who fades. Comes off the front of the ring. So another stop for the Storm. Safin finds a rolling Jarvie, who finds Koz out in the corner, attacks the ring, fades, buries it. It's a Max Koz special there. And the Shep Gators need a timeout to talk things over. But
That's got Max Koz up to 7 for the game. And you can see those last couple of possessions there, Storm ball movements picked up a little bit. They've been able to get inside a couple of times with more one-on-one matchups rather than the help being set up. So that's the kind of play they're going to need to be able to get some points up quickly. 11-point deficit at the moment, but that's a much better adjustment in terms of ball movement and create good, clean shot.
yeah, Obviously, the Storm really need to put together a little run here. Don't need to take the lead, but they just need to get a bit close. Just makes Shep a bit nervous, but Shep are just... Everyone's scoring for Shep. We go through...
It's been a real grind this second quarter too, hasn't it? Like looking at the quarter time scores, like the Storm's only scored 6 to 12 this quarter, so both teams have kind of locked in a little bit here and been very good contesting shots. Hasn't been a lot of clean looks, so it might be the first one to break through here. Like could give Shepparton a bit of a break in the game, or it could bring Storm back into it. So next couple of minutes here before half time are going to be pretty important, I think.
So as we look to get started here again, obviously game 1 of the Division 1 men's grand final, 2 country teams, which is great to see. Obviously Big V, a very dominant metro league. So 2 country teams going at it as we see the ball get kicked to Jefferson, straight into Andronicus. Out to Bex, to Michelle, who pulls up and just hits a nice mid-range floater there.
Nice look.
So the lead back out to 13 points. Jarvie to Grombeck, who just throws it away.
Force that one then. The 12th turnover of the night for the Storm.
So under 2 minutes to go now here in this first half. Andronicus under the ring. Dishes it off, and it'll be a 3 in the key. So Andronicus just got a bit too comfortable under the ring.
He's in there a bit long that time, but you can see they're trying to isolate him down low with that screening action away from the ball, occupying all the help defenders. So it'll be interesting to see whether there's any cutting looks come off that as the game goes on as well, because that's a pretty good target for Shepparton inside.
Jarvie finds Grombeck on the 3-point line, who finds Cos, who lets a long one fly with a hand in his face, but can't convert.
Another early clock 3 over a hand.
Michelle finds Bex to Jefferson, who goes baseline on Varley but can't convert. Geordie Michelle from almost the quarter court line lets it fly, can't convert. Just over a minute to go here. Varley goes downhill, finds Vekic under the ring, can't convert, and the Gators will come up with the board. Michelle ahead to Jefferson, who finds trailing Bex. Great ball movement here by the Gators. Wilkie with the pump fake. Bex.
Nice defense too by the Storm group there. Pretty good possession on both ends of the floor.
As Varley creates the gap but doesn't take the shot. And Jarvie goes to work under the ring on the mismatch, and it'll be a foul on number 1, Sam Bex. That'll be his first for the night. So we'll see a substitution as well. Number 8.
Nick Dodd coming in.
Nick Dodd coming in, and the big man Matt Andronicus checking out for the last 30 seconds. Jarvie makes the first. So the lead still 12 points here for the Gators. Misses the second. Jefferson comes up with another rebound. Michelle to Bex to Jefferson, who finds Dodd, who's cutting to the ring but can't convert. And the Storm will get the last shot here. So 12 seconds to go. Louis Varley, ball in his hands, attacks the rim. Finds Max Cos out there, late in the clock. Floater, converts it. And that's a great finish for the Storm for the first half. Max Cos with a nice block floater. And that cuts the lead back down to 10 points here at halftime. 33-23, the Shep Gators up. Obviously, the big talking point is the Storm's foul trouble. We go down the list. We've got Louis Varley, Rowan Jarvie, Max Cos and Marco Vekic all with 2 fouls. And it's only half time. So that'll be a big talking point on them, just being careful with the hands.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like, you look at the rest of the half, the turnover count's obviously still a bit high for Storm, although it was a bit better in that quarter. And Shepparton's done a really good job contesting their three, the 2 for 13 at half time. That's been a big area of scoring for Bellarine over the course of the season. So I think they need to try and find something else here to try and make Shepparton guard a little bit differently and free some of those shots up. But I mean, classically, it's a grand final series, isn't it? Like, a lot of you see these semi-final games where you get 80s and 90s up on the board, but you come to a grand final, there's a bit of nerves, and the D goes up again, and we end up with a low-scoring first half. For Shepparton, Garrett Jefferson's 11 in the first half were very good, although he was slowed a little bit in that second quarter. But yeah, I think Shep's got a nice spread around that as well, with everybody chipping in with 2 to 4 points, just off good ball movement and taking their turn. And I think so far that's probably where the advantage is, just converting the ball a little bit better, forcing turnover and challenging that 3 ball.
But as we look to head to a quick interval break, the Shep Gators currently leading the Bellarine Storm by 23 points. Good evening and welcome back to Game 1 of the Division 1 Men's Grand Final Series between the Bellarine Storm and Shep Gators. My name is Hugh. Sitting alongside me is Tim for this second half in what was a very interesting first half. Obviously, the Storm down by 10. Just really struggling to get some shots in a very sort of 1-2 parts offense. But the Shep Gators showing why ball movement is key. A lot of their shots coming from wide open shots.
Yeah, well, we said it was all about creating looks just off moving defenders off the ball. And you saw a couple of looks there late in the quarter where there's a bit of rotation came over and a couple of finishes around the basket. That's probably a bit more of what Storm need to do. And again, just even collapsing the defense to try and free those shooters up. Like we said at the start of the game, that three-point shooting was probably something that they're going to need to go their way. And I mean, at half-time, we're 2 for 13 versus 2 for 7. So it's been a bit of a different game to that. But it'll be interesting to see whether that frees up a bit in the second half once a few of the nerves are out of the way and they've kind of figured each other out a little bit through that first 2 quarters.
We also forgot to add at the start of the game, and I only just thought of it then, a big missing key part to this Bellarine Storm. Obviously, Jason Reardon not playing, and I don't think, after talking to him this afternoon, I think he's done. Obviously injured his calf late in the 4th quarter, I think it was, last week, 3rd quarter.
Yeah, 3rd quarter last week.
He's here, but in the tracksuits and pretty sore calf, he told me. So,
well, hopefully someone of his experience, at least being on the bench, might be able to help the guys out a little bit and give some direction and a few things they can change. I mean, a player that's played at that level for as long as he has and so successfully will no doubt have some pearls that he can throw out. And yeah, I'm sure he'll be doing that over on that side of the floor.
But as we look to get started here in this second half, the lineups for both teams: Varley, Koz, Vekic, Jarvi and Grombeck for the Storm, and Jefferson, Bex, Michelle, Andronicus and Wilkie for the Shep Gators. As we get started, Bellarine Storm ball to start the quarter. Storm need a couple of quick baskets here just to bring this game back. Varley.
Well defended by Wilkie there.
Finds Jarvi at the elbow. Pull-up jumper. And the Storm started off well.
That was more of the screening action away from the play we thought might free it up too. It was a good back screen by Varley, but well defended by Wilkie too. They just had to make a tricky one in the end.
Michelle, guarded by Koz, Wilkie, Jefferson, who's into Andronicus under the ring. Jarvi does a great job to contest it.
Yeah, great battle.
Storm come up with a stop.
Great battle down there.
Varley finds Vekic. Jarvi downhill. Can't convert, too hard off the glass. So the Storm getting a bit of movement now. Ball's moving, they're finding open shots as Grombeck comes a bit too hard over the top of the screen. And that'll be his second foul for the night. So just had a bit too much pace there, I reckon, Nathan Grombeck.
Yeah, he's doing a good job trying to fight over the top of the screen. Just obviously got a bit of a hand in the hip and created a bit of space that you can't legally do like that.
Yeah. Michelle, guarded by Koz. Finds Johnson, who's fouled. And one. Great finish there by Garrett Johnson. And the foul will be on number 7, Louis Varley. That'll be his 3rd for the game.
But he did a really good job on the first dribble there until he put his hands in.
Yeah. But, I mean, tough finish by Garrett Johnson there.
Outstanding finish.
Fading behind the backboard.
Yep.
And we'll take this lead back out to double figures. Misses the free throw. Varley comes up with the rebound. Vekic to Jarvi, who finds Koz coming over the screen. Out to Varley. Quick shot. Still yet to make a field goal, Louis Varley. Up to 0 from 7.
Max Koz probably had an opportunity to go downhill against Andronicus there and challenge him with the rim too.
Wilkie with a nice pull-up. Decent crowd in here, Tim, tonight. We've obviously got a double header of grand finals. Division 1 men, and then straight after Youth League women who play Coburg. So make sure you jump over to that stream as well. Jarvie just throws it well over the top of Grombeck's head. Grombeck tried to throw it off Dylan Wilkie's leg, but it'll be a backcourt violation. And
once again, the Shepparton defence doing a really good job there of taking all those outlets away from Rowan Jarvie once he got that inside catch. So being very disruptive at the moment, causing Storm quite a few problems here.
So Shep ball into Andronicus, who finds Bex. Kicks it around to Jefferson, who kicks it to Andronicus. Wilkie for 3, rolls over the ring, and the Storm out in transition. Varley finds Koz, who finds Vekic to Grombeck. Grombeck going at the ring.
Tough look.
Storm just forcing it now. And it'll be an out of court. So just a little bit of a brain fade there for the Gators.
Yeah, it's their 4th one of the game, but they've, up until that point, done a pretty good job looking after the ball.
Substitution as well for the Storm. Grombeck out, Safin in. So chance here for the Storm to capitalise, get the margin back down to single figures. Koz finds Vekic, who stops and pops and finishes. And so the lead now down to 8 for the Gators. Jefferson goes under the ring, finds Michelle wide open in the corner, gets an unlucky bounce, and the Storm come up with the rebound.
Few have rattled out of that end tonight. Foul in transition here under the basket.
Must admit though, I believe the ring was being adjusted at the start of the game. It was a bit off. So foul is on number 33, Dylan Wilkie. That'll be his second, and we'll see a substitution here. Number 8, Nick Dodds checking back into the game, and Matt Andronicus taking a well-deserved break. So the Gators going with a smaller lineup here, but nevertheless, Safin splits the gap, finds Koz on the 3-point line. Ball movement here by the Storm is good. Jarvie from the elbow. Great play there by the Storm. Got a good shot, moved the ball, got laid into the shot clock.
Yeah, nice look, just a bit flat.
Bex. Hands off to Wilkie. Wilkie hits from the free throw line.
Great job creating that with quick into on-ball action there.
And so lead back out to 10. Koz finds Vekic, who goes to work under the ring, stops, and can't convert. But he'll head to the free throw line for 2. The foul will be on number 1, Sam Bex. That'll be his second for the night. So
this is probably another area that the Storm can try to get back into the game a little bit. It's getting on the free throw line to try and offset a bit of the shooting woes they're having at the moment.
Marko Vekic misses the first.
Although they don't matter if you miss them too.
Throw it off the ring, get the offensive board, put it back up.
Go for 2 instead of 1, you reckon?
Vekic makes the second. Deficit now down to 9. Michelle controlling the pace. Finds Jefferson. Looking to go baseline here. Finds Dodd, who finds Bex to Wilkie, who's had a great start to this second half. Finds Bex under the corner. Dodd on the shot clock. Can't convert.
Nice job defensively there.
Varley yet to make a field goal. Into Vekic. Safin downhill, dumps it to Jarvie, who throws it down with authority.
Nice play, well recognised on the long closeout there to attack downhill and force that rotation off Rowan Jarvie.
And so the Storm looking to stick together a bit of a run here. And they get another stop, so they can have a chance to cut the deficit here to 5 points. There's Louis.
Loose pass.
Tries to throw it over the top and it gets kicked. So Jefferson downhill finds Dodd wide open. Can't convert, and the Storm come up with the rebound and they look to run the floor. Vekic with the mismatch finds Max Koz. Bang! Max Koz answers with a three.
Timeout coming for Shepparton.
And Coach Josh Waite needs a timeout as the Bellarine Storm have just brought this game back down to 4 points off ball movement.
The last couple of minutes too, like that, the defensive job they've done, forcing late shots over a hand and being able to get out in transitions really helped. So that's the last couple of minutes. That's probably been the biggest adjustment for Bellarine, is they've been able to get some stops and create a bit of speed in transition, which is breaking down that defense a bit more. I mean, Shepparton's court-to-court D's been outstanding, so probably their best chance is to try and create that transition at the moment.
A couple of smart passes there as well by the Storm. We obviously saw Max Koz's three there was created by Marko Vekic driving baseline, finding the open player. So I think the Bellarine Storm can't shy away from that. They need to stay in that ball movement route. We saw, obviously, Shepparton do it for the first half and got some fantastic looks, but Marko Vekic proving to be a versatile player so far this quarter.
Yeah, well, he's up to 8 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists now.
Double watch.
Yep. And Max Kos is up to 12 points as well. So, I mean, they've got the game back to 4 at the moment. I think probably the key on both sides here is if Louis Varley gets going, that's certainly going to help the Storm team. And that's probably one thing that Shepparton want to make sure doesn't happen now. Kos has got a few going. Vekic has scored a couple. Rowan Jarby's hurting him inside. The last thing they need now is Louis Varley to cut loose after that open season start.
Might we also add Saffin yet to score as well. So,
yep.
And he was prolific in their finals win last week. So, who knows? But as we get started here, Wilkie to Dodd to Frame. Straight into Dodd as Jarvie gets smashed under the ring. And so, finish there by Nick Dodd. Extends the lead. Saffin. Guarded by Wilkie. Like-for-like matchup there. Two similar builds. Late in the shot clock here, Varley. Guarded by Jefferson, who does a great job. Varley's going to need to get it up. Throws it.
Great job there by Jefferson. Really good job defensively.
So, 6 points here. Gators look to just give themselves back that little comforter. As Frame goes downhill.
Good hand by Varley.
Picked by Varley. So, late in the shot clock now. Evans going to work under the ring, but Vekic is all over him. Johnson wide open. Jarvie comes up. No. Vekic comes up with the board, and it'll be a foul. That will be on number 8, Nick Dodd. That'll be his first for the night. So, no foul trouble for him.
They're sharing the fouls out all right at the moment, Shepparton. No one any more than 2 at the moment.
3.5 minutes to go here in this second half. Koz finds Jarvie rolling. Finds Varley over on the other side. Varley dumps it off to Vekic, who can't finish under the ring. Gets his own board, can't convert. Ball's up in dispute. Koz on the deck. Ball's all over the court. And Louis Varley will just hold it up. Koz attacking the rim again. Specialty Max Koz with the fade.
And he's starting to get going now. It's 14 for Koz.
Storm did a great job there just to stay composed. Ball was a bit all over the shot.
An excellent job on the second efforts on the offensive rebounding there too to keep that possession alive as I believe Frame steps out of bounds.
Frame steps out of bounds, and so Storm putting together another little run here. And obviously huge crowd here, so they're looking to get behind their home team. As Koz looking to continue his hot streak, pulls up. but it'll be before the shot. And the foul will be on number 12, Thomas Frame. That'll be his second for the night. So, sideline ball. Gators now in foul trouble. So, if now on 4, which will mean that the Storm will now head to the line for any more. Ball goes into Jarvie. Evans overcommits. Vekic too hard off the backboard. Oh, wow.
Once again, offensive rebounding.
Ball comes off the bottom of the backboard, and Vekic comes up with the board.
And that will be Marco's double-double there too.
There we go. And the lead for the Gators now down to 9.
Down to 2.
2, sorry. Wow. Jefferson fading. Can't get it to roll. And Cos pressured by Frame, but comfortably gets the ball over. Vekic to Cos, who's just putting the heat on at the moment.
That's going to be bonus with a 15th out.
So Cos.
Warning there to Tom Frame too.
So that'll be Tom Frame's 3rd, I believe.
Yep.
And that'll send Maxi Cos to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Jefferson out and Michelle comes back in.
Geordie Michelle being very quiet tonight. 2 points, 1 from 8. So not having a very, very good night, but not someone you can count out. Can't leave him open because he'll punish you. Cos makes the first one. We saw the same thing at Melbourne Uni. Storm looked like they were down and out, but they chip away and now tie game.
All square, 2 to go on the 3rd.
Michelle kicks it to Evans, who finds a back-cutting Wilkie, but Safin in the lane. And Cos, who's just on fire at the moment, kicks it into Vekic, who finds Varley.
Fumbles out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Not having the best game, Louis Varley.
His 6th turnover, Louis.
2 points, hasn't made a field goal tonight, but 12 rebounds. So,
and that kind of dangerous player too, where you might have him for 3 quarters, but you don't want to let him off the leash for the last one.
Give him 1 shot and Louis Varley is on. Once he finds his rhythm, he's unstoppable. As Evans left wide open, and Vekic wasn't set, so that'll be a foul on Marko Vekic. It'll be his 3rd for the evening. Sending number 14, Gabe Evans, to the free throw line for 2. And substitution, I believe. No.
As we are, I believe.
Evans misses the first.
Much to the light of the home crowd, getting behind him there.
The infamous Bellarine Storm Peanut Gallery are up and about, up in the stands there. So as Evans misses the second, there's something wrong with that ring, Tim.
It seems to be has been difficult to shoot at that end so far, doesn't it?
Varley finds Cos, steps through, banks it off the glass.
Again.
Oh, wow. Vekic got to be careful here. It'll be a jump ball. Stay with the Gators. Vekic has got to be careful there. Obviously, 3 fouls for him.
Big momentum shift in this quarter too. It's a 16-6 quarter for the Storm.
As Vekic is going to take a break for the Storm. Thomason will come in. And Evans will check out for the Gators. And Bex will check back in. So, just under a minute to go here in Drysdale. I had Ocean Grove before. Now it's Drysdale. Great defense here by the Storm. Switching everything. And the Storm are up and about at the moment. Did a great job there on defense, fighting over screens.
Big momentum shift this quarter. I think that's something when you're playing on the road too. You don't want to let that get out of hand because this home crowd's going to be very loud in the 4th quarter if this game's close.
Varley finds Safin. Yet to score tonight. So struggling with the matchup. Finds Seb Thomason, who pops from the short corner, and Seb opens his scoring account for the night.
First lead for the Storm tonight too.
So Gators will get the last shot here. Michelle kicks to Bex to find Frame, who finds Dodd. Lets it fly. And it's going to be a Storm ball. So 4.5 seconds left here. Storm have plenty of shooters on the court to get a shot up here. Goes to Varley. Pulls up.
Oh, rims out. They would have brought the house down if that had gone down.
As we end the third term here, we have had a massive momentum shift. The Storm, after being down by 12 at half-time, are now up by 2 in what looks to be a cracking fourth quarter.
There's an 18-6 third there for the Storm. Max Cos obviously got busy. He's up to 16. Marko Vekic is up to 8 now, as well as 14 rebounds. I think he had 3 of the 4 offensive rebounds in that quarter. On the other end of the floor, probably the other bit of impact is Garrett Jefferson slowed down. They're thinking 2 for the quarter, so Shepparton will be looking for him to get going as well, and probably trying to get back to that rhythm they had early in the game where they were able to move the ball and create effective shots. But on the defensive end, it looks like Storm's taken a step up here and changed that, and it's definitely created a bit more transition game for them as well. Yeah,
the Storm very disruptive that quarter. It'd be interesting to hear what Kurt Bugenhall had to say in the halftime break, but they're very disruptive. They're in the passing lanes. They're going over screens. So Shep obviously didn't have that for the first half. They were Bellarine were very placid. So it'll be interesting to see how Coach Waite comes out of this quarter break. But Storm with the momentum right now, and the crowd behind them as well. There is a lot of people here. It's full. Pretty close to a full house, with a few sitting on the other side of the floor that you can probably see in the screen there behind the bench. So it's a big crowd here tonight, and knowing this venue well, that if it gets close to the fourth quarter, it's going to be quite parochial and very loud. So should be an entertaining fourth quarter here with a bit of noise behind us too. So big 10 minutes coming up in the game 1 of this grand final series. So as we look to get started, our lineups for the fourth quarter: Jarvie, Saffin, Thomason, Varley and Cos. And for the Gators, it's Michelle, Frame, Jefferson, Bex and Andronicus. So it'll be a Storm ball. Up close and personal with the players here is Varley. Passes it in. Gets it back. So ball looks to be in Varley's hands. Yet to score tonight. So Jarvie, that's been his spot tonight. He's a few from there.
He's also having a nice night now. He's up to 11-9.
So the lead out to 4 now for the Storm.
Picking up some of that slack from Saffin and Varley's quite nice.
Bex. Covered by Thomason. Jefferson goes downhill. It'll be a travel. Great defense there by Louis Varley. Just to stop Jefferson from getting the downhill he needs.
He's done a really nice job there, Varley, after half-time, I think, on Jefferson. The first quarter, Jefferson got out of control a little bit for the Storm, and they managed to slow him a little bit, probably since quarter time even.
Oh, what a pass by Saffin. Finds the cutting Rowan Jarvie, and he'll head to the line for 2. That'll be a foul on number 1. Sam Bex, that'll be his third. Yep. Thank you to our court announcer, Mark Brunger.
Probably a good foul to stop another dunk there too.
Yeah, that would have lifted the roof off. So Jarvie misses the first.
And saved the point.
And saved the point. Storm going with only the 1 rebounder here. Jarvie makes the second. He's now up to 12 points. So all the Storm players starting to wake up now, starting to turn it on. As we see Frame into Andronicus. Jarvie done a great job tonight on Matt Andronicus. Such a such a big body to compete with. Only keeping him to 4 points, 4 rebounds. So as Jefferson looks to inbound into Andronicus. Jarvie gets tangled up. The foul will be on number 20, Rowan Jarvie. That'll be his third.
As soon as we say that, they target Andronicus inside.
His third. Andronicus to the cup.
It's just right at that margin, isn't it? If one or two guys get hot for a couple of minutes, it could be all that this game needs to decide it.
Andronicus makes the first. I think he's played in front of bigger crowds than this, Matt Andronicus.
He has. This is a good one, but he has played at some high levels and would have had a bigger crowd, yes.
So doesn't phase him as he makes the first, misses the second. Jarvie comes up with the rebound.
I think that completes a double-double for Jarvie as well.
Saffin yet to open his scoring account as well. Varley dumps it off to Thomason, who finds Jarvie. Spins to the basket.
Yeah, very well defended by Andronicus.
That's all he needs to do, Andronicus. Stand there with his hands up. Bex dribbling around the three-point line, hands it off to Jefferson. It goes to the ring and smothered by Varley. And that'll be a foul on Louis Varley. That'll be his fourth. So hasn't had the biggest impact tonight, but as we said, he's a player that can turn it on for the Bellarine Storm. Jefferson makes the first. Might I add, Ballarine's 2 top scorers for the season haven't made a field goal tonight.
It's 2 points between them on an average of about 29.
Jefferson makes both his free throws. Deficit back down to 2 points. We love a close game here at Storm HQ. We've had a few this season. Varley tries to force a pass. That'll be another turnover for him. And Michelle just gets a step on all the Bellarine defenders and gets to the ring.
Ties the game up on that too with a really nice drive off the turnover.
Saffin to Koz, who's guarded by Jefferson in the corner. Thomason downhill with the spin move, step through off the front of the rim, and the Shep Gators on a little bit of a run here.
Yeah, it feels a little bit of a momentum shift again. A couple of good stops here by Shepparton and a couple of good buckets around the basket.
Jefferson going into the post on Varley.
Oh, travel.
Great D there by Varley.
It did well to hit just the ball then, because that could have been a foul out.
Yeah, as we will have a timeout for the Bellarine Storm. So Louis Varley playing with fire right now on 4 fouls, but getting a big block, and that will see this ball go to the Storm. So what's the key to winning this game for the Bellarine Storm?
I think it's just going to, I think for the Storm, it's going to be just continually getting stops and seeing if they can get out in transition. Shepparton's court-to-court defense has been very organised and has created a lot of issues for them scoring in the court-to-court. So they probably need to try and get something running to get some momentum and force them to do something a little bit different to chase the game.
For the Gators, personally, I think they need to attack the rim. Get Louis Varley, who's on 4. Marko Vekic is on 3. Rowan Jarvie's on 3.
I think for them it's going to be moving defenders again. So the last few plays have gone inside where Jarvie's been able to contest straight up. They've gone to some post-up isolation looks. And they probably haven't led to what they were getting in the first half off that screening play away from the ball. So it'll be interesting to see if Coach Wade goes back to that, to see if he can shift some of the defense around and try and free up a couple of guys in their spots. Because it might only take 1 or 2 of those really good possessions just to create a bit of a momentum swing and a gap that forces a reaction.
So as we get started again, substitutions just for the Storm. Thomason checking out, Vekic checking back in. Pardon me. Saffin, guarded by Jefferson now. Finds Koz. Vekic sets a screen. Koz downhill. Jarvie at the elbow. That's been his shot all night.
3rd or 4th hit from that spot. Seems they're just dragging Andronicus into that pick and roll action there and leaving Jarvie open on the elbow. Looks like Shepparton's kind of living with that shot too, but Jarvie's doing a good job penalising him for that.
Great defence there by the Storm to stop at Jeffson, follow through. As Varley gets a hand on the ball. Jefferson tried to draw the foul. Michelle throws it up, banks it off the glass.
Right on the end of the shot clock too.
So, looks like the Shep Gators are going after Louis Varley now, trying to get him out of the game as Cos pulls up from the free throw line. And the ball bounces out of the rim. Louis Varley nearly comes up with a pick, but it'll stay with the Shepparton Gators.
Starting to get down to that fine margins part of a game, aren't we, where one or two little things could be the difference in this one.
46 all, not a very high scoring grand final, as we were saying before. All the semi-finals, all 80 plus for both teams. Jefferson.
Probably misses one he could have made there.
Jarvie does a great job to get in front. He's rim running. Give it to the man. Cos puts it on the floor. Goes for the mid-range pull-up. Can't convert. Transition game right now for both teams. Saffin gets the hands in. Bit of frustration on the court there between the Bellarine boys.
Important deflection there on that play too. There's a couple of shooters open in the corner there.
As Andronicus checks out, and Dodds will check back in, and Wilkie will check in, and Michelle will check out.
Shepparton's executed well off their baseline play so far tonight too, so interesting to see what they run with here.
Bex in the corner. Frame comes up with a big rebound, but Jarvie's in there. And so the Storm, wow, that was a very loud clap. Vekic, guarded by Bex. Jarvie got the mismatch right now. Goes to work under the ring, grabs his own rebound. Out to Saffin, that is so deep. Vekic with another O board. Out to Cos. Late in the shot clock here. Varley finds Jarvie, step back. Oh no, Rowan Jarvie.
Stepping up big time here, Rowan Jarvie.
Mid-range master. As I don't think he's actually missed tonight from the mid-range.
His and Marko Vekic's activity on the offensive rebounding has been huge here to get second looks too.
Great closeout there, but Sam Bex answers straight back.
Good response.
So, do not leave your screens, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be a cracking game one here at Storm HQ. Ball inside to Jarvie, who's just turned on the heat. Finishes over the top and just pulls out the signature celebration.
He's up to 18 now, Jarvie. I think that's 9 or 10 this quarter too.
Jefferson, trail 3. Can't convert, but Shep come up with the rebound. Ooh. As there's nearly a double dribble there by Bex. Jefferson, given space, can't convert, and so the Storm will have a chance to extend their lead.
4 to play.
Varley,
maybe a reach on Jefferson.
Smothered by Jefferson, and that'll be a foul on number 6, Garrett Jefferson. That'll be his 3rd. And a smart sub here by Josh Waite, head coach, bringing Matt Andronicus back in, and Geordie Michelle, and it'll be Frame and Dodd checking out. So, but I mean, Rowan Jarvie's on fire right now, so anything can happen when he's on. Vekic under the ring, finishes, gets fouled, and he'll head to the free throw line for 2. That'll be number 1. Sam Bex. Sorry, I forgot his name for a second there. That'll be his 4th. So, hasn't been prolific tonight. He has actually. 7 points, 11 rebounds. So, both teams with key players in foul trouble.
Foul trouble at the moment. Bex has 4, Jefferson and Frame 3 for Shepparton, and Varley 4, Jarvie and Vekic 3 for the Storm as we come down the stretch.
So Vekic, 2 big free throws as he just breathes a big sigh of relief. And so Storm now up by 4. Ball movement here, quick by the Gators. Michelle downhill, finds Bex to Wilkie. Fumbles, out to Bex, who's guarded by Vekic. Jeffson tries to get inside. Jarvie tries to meet Andronicus at the ring, but Andronicus finishes over the top and will head to the line for 2. That'll be a foul on Rowan Jarvie. That'll be his 4th.
Potential for foul trouble to play a part down the stretch here.
So Storm have no one else really to match up with Matt Andronicus as he misses the first, and Marko Vekic hits the deck.
Very lucky. Got away with one there, the Storm.
Oh, stop it. Rowan Jarvie. That man is on fire from the mid-range.
He's up to 20 for the night now too.
So Rowan Jarvie turning it on right now. Straight in, Andronicus goes to where Jarvie gets a big block. And the ball in dispute. It'll be a jump ball. It'll stay with the Gators, but some great defense there by the Storm, especially Rowan Jarvie to get up at Matt Andronicus' level.
Here's the crowd getting into it too. Just got very, very loud in here on that possession.
3 minutes to go. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets a bit hard to hear in here. But big moments here for the Storm. If they can get a stop here and head down the other end and put the ball in the ring.
Now the 12 boys doing a little bit of floor wiping work there. It's giving the game a quick break.
As the crowd now getting into this match. Has 2 defense chants going right now. Big moments here for both teams. Andronicus to Jefferson. Late in the shot clock. Wilkie off the screen. It's short.
Great job by Safin to get around that and put some pressure on that shot too. Well executed play off the baseline by Shep.
Big play here for the Storm. Ball's in Varley's hands. Hasn't made a field goal. Vekic finds Rowan Jarvie to Safin, who's pushed out late in the shot clock. Safin from way downtown. Can't convert. Back come the Gators. Not backing down. Great D-bear by Koz to get over the screen. Bex to Michelle. Fumbles. Varley's all over him. Jefferson for 3. Jams it in the ring. 2 minutes to go. The Storm up by 4. As Saf Varley pull up. First,
There's
still no
Vekic
field.
again.
Big time player, Marko Vekic. Safin looking to run down the clock. Finds Jarvie, who spins and
rims out.
And so Jarvie unlucky there. Wilkie in transition. Can't convert. Andronicus goes up. It'll be a travel. Big time moment there for Rowan Jarvie. And it'll be a substitution here for the Shep Gators. Sam Bex will check out and Nick Dodd will check in as Matt Andronicus just asking the question there.
Jarvie's been huge on both ends here. Like, he's got his 20 points. He's up to 17 rebounds, 3 block shots and 2 assists. So he's done an outstanding job. Andronicus is challenging him around the basket. He just keeps coming up with plays at the moment.
Put the league on notice, Rowan Jarvie.
Couple of big possessions here now, a 4-point lead. If Storm can get another one here and make this a 3-shot game, it will be a challenge for Shep to reel that back in with potentially some fouling situations coming up.
So 3 fouls for each team. So both teams still got a couple of fouls to give. Minute and a half.
And we're probably looking at about a minute of play maybe before we start getting into that foul situation one way or another.
At least. So Storm ball here, applied pressure by the Gators. Varley covered by Jefferson. It'll be a foul on Jefferson. So that'll be Garrett Jefferson's 4th foul. So another player on the court in Storm trouble.
So for Shepparton, it's Jefferson and Becks on 4. For the Storm, it's Jarvie and Varley on 4.
Some big names there too.
Yeah, could be some huge moments here for, like, if any one of them fouls out, someone's going to have to step up and make plays.
So Gators now in foul trouble. Vekic gets the ball picked, and it'll go back to the baseline. So still 7 seconds here for the Storm to get it over. Varley gets it in, just beats Jefferson off the step. Finds Jarvie, who gets fouled. And Jarvie will have 2 big free throws here, and the foul will be on number 34, Matt Andronicus. That'll be his first for the night. So the big man not in foul trouble. That could prove pivotal at the end of the game. Rowan Jarvie gets in foul trouble. Marko Vekic has a severe height disadvantage on Andronicus. Jarvie makes the first. A minute 11 to go here. Game 1.
5-point lead Storm. So again, big free throw coming up.
Makes the second. So Rowan Jarvie proved pivotal, and it'll be a timeout for the Shep Gators. But Rowan Jarvie may be the talking point of this game. 22 points.
Yep.
17, oh no, they're putting back to 16 rebounds, 4 blocks. So Rowan Jarvie has come up big in this second half for the Storm.
Particularly this fourth quarter. Like, I believe that's 12 points and about 5 boards this quarter and a couple of block shots. So I mean, he has almost single-handedly turned this one for the Storm. Although he has had a bit of help, I suppose, from Marko Vekic with some huge offensive rebounds as Max Cos has gone quiet since three-quarter time. But Jarvie's been the offense and the defense in the fourth quarter. For Shepparton, I think coming out of the timeout here, that they're probably going to be looking to Jefferson to make a play. And again, he's been held much quieter since quarter time, so he'll be looking for a big last minute here to try and drag him back in it as well. But with only a 6-point margin, 1:10 to go, a couple of shots either way, he can change this game significantly. So we're still game on.
And we still, like we saw in the semi-final series and across the season, the Gators' second best 3-point percentage in the league. So 2 threes and it's a game. So make sure you stay attached to your screens as we have a cracking country matchup here at Storm HQ, following up by our Youth League women who look to take game 2 and send it to a game 3 on Sunday. But turn our attention back to this match. Shep to inbound the ball. Struggling to find someone. It'll be another 5-second violation. So that's the second one tonight for the Gators. Struggling to get some pressure through the pressure of the Storm.
Massive possession this one now for Storm too. If they can score here and make this a 3-possession game,
give it to them.
They'll be dictating what's going on down the stretch, I'd say.
Saffin yet to score tonight.
And that's going to be bonus.
Foul on number 33, Dylan Wilkie. That'll be his 3rd foul for the night. And that'll send Saffin to the line for two shots.
Potentially his first points of the night too.
Will be his first points for the night. So Bellarine Storm's second top scorer is getting his first points with a minute to go in the fourth. And they're big time points.
3-shot game now. I don't know about you, but I think this next possession's a must score for Shep.
100%. And
I think Coach Waite agrees with that timeout.
So Coach Waite will talk it over with his team. He's now out of timeouts. Storm still have 2, so that could prove pivotal in this late game. So as the crowd here decides to start making some noise, but I think if you're Shepparton, you've got to go inside. You've got to pound it inside on Rowan Jarvie. He's in foul trouble, and Andronicus is such a big figure under the ring. Get him under finishing. That'll prove pivotal.
Well, it's an interesting decision what you go to now as well. So, I mean, Garrett Jefferson's been quiet since quarter time. Wilkie's only had the 4 for the night on 2 for 8. You got Evans on 1 for 5, and they've been the scorers most of the year for Shepparton. So it'll be interesting to see who this goes to right now when there's not a clear hot hand. Interesting coaching debate. Do you try and take a 3 and give yourself a bit of wiggle room on the next one with free throws, or do you just take the first 2 and ensure it goes back to a 2-shot game?
You've still got a minute to go.
It's enough time.
Clock stops on every whistle, on every basket. Shep have been playing a pretty up aggressive press in the last quarter, so they need to score here though.
Yeah, massive possession.
Jefferson going baseline, steps through, he'll get fouled, and they'll count the basket.
And there's going to be a potential foul out here on either Jarvie or Varley as well.
Points are good. The foul will be on number 7,
Varley.
Louis Varley. And so that'll be Louis Varley's 5th foul for the night, which will mean he'll check out.
So Nathan Grombeck's going to come and replace him.
And we'll have a substitution for the Gators as well. Number 8, Nick Dodd checking out, and
Tom Frame coming in.
Frame. So going for a smaller, quicker lineup.
This could be interesting now. Varley's been playing point guard most of the night, so I'm expecting some ball pressure up the floor here from Shepparton.
Safin to go to point guard or Vekic?
Probably Saf, I'd say.
Oh, looks like it's Vekic. Apply pressure here by the Gators. So game down to 6 points as Frame just being a pest on Safin. Does a great job, but finds Vekic wide. Single figures for the shot clock. Koz had a quiet second half. Vekic, not a three-point shooter. And the Gators with 35 seconds to go here. And it'll be a foul.
That'll be bonus as well.
On number 4, Nathan Grombeck, which will send Garrett Jefferson to the line for 2.
The 3rd on Grombeck.
So big moments here for the Gators, as we're going to see a substitution here. No substitution. So
big free throws again. If they can make both of these and bring it back to 4, then there's a chance you could probably play that next possession out for a stop and still have just enough time. Again, you're into that interesting tactical stage now for Shepparton.
Jefferson makes the first. So the crowd's still building here. Obviously now both the youth league teams out from the change rooms. Jefferson, big miss, but Andronicus just hits the ball too far. And it'll be a foul on Wilkie. 4th. That'll be his 4th, and that'll send the Storm to the free throw line for 2. This could potentially ice the game here.
Yeah, free throw game now, isn't it? It makes both of these and takes it back out to a 3-shot game will make it difficult.
He had I believe it was a substitute. No, not yet. Now it'll be a substitution.
Grombeck's 0 for 1 on the foul line so far tonight.
So Andronicus checking out and Dodd checking back in.
Bit more perimeter shooting, I think, to stretch the floor out.
So big free throws here for Nathan Grombeck. Misses the first. Deficit 5 points. This will put it out to a 2-shot game. Grombeck makes the second. Gators need 2 quick threes. Jefferson, great defense.
Grombeck, but also good play from Jefferson.
Michelle finds Frame in the corner. It's long. Jefferson comes up with the rebound. Out to Michelle, lets it fly. Bang! Shot clock stopped. It'll be pressure here. Michelle's got the pick. Oh, it's out of court.
Will be a timeout called here.
12 seconds
Storm
left.
have 2 timeouts here. A ball advance is probably the option, I'd say.
And it looks like Bugenhall's going to call a timeout.
Yep.
Massive 3-bear by Geordie Michelle to cut this deficit down to 3 points and put it within a shot. But it is a Storm ball.
So your key here is if you're Shepparton, how long do you go here to try and get the quick steal before you foul? So they've got 12.6 on the clock with a 3-point lead. I'd be going pretty hard at the inbound pass, I think, and if I didn't get it, I would probably be trying to foul Grombeck. Based on the night. Yeah, Grombeck after those last couple potentially shaky. I think you've got to try and really keep the ball out of Safin's hands here because while he hasn't scored well tonight, he's probably going to be the best free throw shooter on the floor.
Yeah.
So and Cos as well. They're the two most likely to make these. So I'd be thinking Grombeck's probably your target if you can get it in there.
Who's your go-to man for the Gators?
To score the 3 at the other end?
Yeah. Do you go back to Jordy Michelle again?
I think you have to. He's the only guy that's made one post half time, so it probably has to be.
Or do you bring Gabe Bevins back in?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they put all of them out there that way. So if there did happen to be a rotation, you've got a couple options.
So 12 seconds left here. Storm ball in the front court, which means the shot clock is out now. So the Gators need a pick and a 3 off the sideline here. So Vekic to inbound. Safin. Double teamed, and it'll be a quick foul. So Wilkie to pick up the foul, not the one they probably wanted, but Safin to head to the free throw line to ice the game.
No timeouts left for Shepparton either. One or both of these free throws to make it a 2-shot game is difficult.
And I believe that'll be Dylan Wilkie's 5th foul for the evening.
He's fouled out. As he gets a bit of a send-off from the crowd there.
So we're just waiting for the substitution here. So Wilkie will check out and Evans will check back in. So still 8 seconds to go here in the game. Still a chance if Safin doesn't make these free throws. Makes the first.
Huge hit. Very important one.
No timeouts left for the Gators, so they need to quick transition 3, get a stop. Safin makes the second. And so full court pressure here by
Vekic with a steal.
Vekic.
That'll just about do it.
Quick foul there by Jordy Michelle. Great defense there by Marco Vekic.
Once again, Vekic with the active hands creating that turnover. That's done. That's the game right there. Five points with 3.8. Really great comeback too from the Storm team after the first half was pretty much dictated by Shepparton's defense.
It's all up to a big third quarter, 18-6. Safin makes the first. As there's just calls for JB to be put into the game. Jesse Byrne. And so,
probably the one thing you can't do there off that end line is put your hands over the line.
So Marco Vekic has just been teched for stepping over the line. So, as Marco Vekic is just a bit confused there.
Yeah, it's the automatic one over the line there, I think.
So in the last 2 minutes, just for a bit of rule clarity, in the last 2 minutes, the player steps over the line on the inbound. It is a straight technical. So Jefferson to make the first. I believe it's a bit out of reach now for the Gators.
Oh, there's still a timeout left for Storm as well, so if there's a score off this play, I'd expect Coach Buglehall to advance the ball down the other end of the floor and just make sure it doesn't get into an open court.
3 seconds left. I don't think there's going to be enough time.
Yeah.
So Gators here as Maxi Cos just gives himself plenty of room. Jefferson fires and Evans will put it in, but that'll be game here at Storm HQ. Game 1 of this grand final series, and it goes to the Bellarine Storm after what looked like it was going to go to the Gators.
Yeah, Shepparton's first half was very impressive there, and that 10-point lead at halftime looked like it could have caused some problems, but a huge third quarter for the Storm with an 18-6 run, and then Rowan Jarvie taking over in that fourth quarter was the difference, I think. So he's finished the game with 22 points, 16 rebounds, 2 assists and 4 blocks.
Mid-range specialist Rowan Jarvie.
Huge night on 9 for 17 from the field.
Yeah, might we add also 16 rebounds, so take note, Big V. That should be, I'd say that's stat line of the week. But on the other end, Garrett Jefferson, 20 points of his own with 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. Had a night out for himself, but just in the end couldn't couldn't finish it off for them.
Yeah, he did. He had a particularly good first quarter, and then late in the game again to try and drag Shep back into it. For the middle of the game there, I thought the defensive change on Invalid did a solid job and slowed him down a little bit. And unfortunately for Shepparton, they couldn't quite get a second and third scorer to help pick up the slack.
But that will just about do it for us here at Storm HQ. Game 1 of the Division 1 Men's Grand Final goes to the Storm. Make sure you tune in next week as both teams head back to Shepparton and the Gators look to win the next 2 games.
They will, yes. Obviously, Saturday night we'll need to level the series, and then they'll create a Game 3 in Shepparton next weekend. So anybody around the region, if that game's ending to go by, how close that was at the end, and be worth getting along to.
But that'll round us out here at Storm HQ. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Hugh Moore. Thank you, Tim Sanderson, for joining me tonight, and we will see you next time.